once again, glad you can join me. I would like to talk about writing and all the other things here on this channel, but I would like to discuss an early turning point in my life, one that I felt had to lead to the decisions of my later writing career and help me realize what I was saying makes a lot of sense to an audience. I want to go back to the summer of 1983. This is when I was working as a CIT, or for the YMCA, my local YMCA right down the street. I was a counselor in training, meaning I wasn't a counselor, I wasn't in charge of the young people, but I was working alongside a counselor to work with the younger people. Um, I'm in high school at the time, or heading towards my last year in high school, but at the same time, I'm working with a bunch of young men who are younger than me, maybe around at the time called junior high school, middle school age young men. Um, so we all shared a cabin in the San Bernardino Mountains, and most times CITs like myself would have breaks, and I at the time carry along my pen and my paper with me because I'm a writer. Even at that age, when I was starting to enjoy the art of writing and the art of writing poetry, I kind of dabbled in it. I wasn't as good as I am now, but back then I was still kind of working out poems and learning to write poems. I wrote about subjects that I felt interested in me, and I had a lot on my mind, as you can obviously tell by reading all my blogs, including my Substack and Medium posts. I still have a lot on my mind. So I sat down one day, much in a day like this in the late July or early August of that year, and I'm sitting down writing something in my notepad. Counselor walks by, older gentleman, young guy, but he said, "What fit?" He says, "Hey, what you writing?" I said, "Oh, I'm writing a poem." He said, "Oh, why don't you read at a campfire?" I said, "Okay." So I did. Told all the counselors and people in charge of the campfire that I'm reading a poem for that evening, and because of the nature of it, after everybody performed the skits, the campers performed the skits, the jokes, everything like that, I was up last. So I read a poem which I call The Earth. It was a very social commentary type poem. Um, I read it about how different subjects of hunger and food and how the planet Earth, how people can how cope living on the planet Earth with all these social issues they're dealing with. And by the end of the campfire, after I shared my heart with no mistakes, no whatever, I was able to convince the younger crowd and some counselors to clap for me, and they all clapped because they heard the poem and it was very nice. This poem has never been published in any of the books. I don't think. I have to go back and check, but I don't think that The Earth, the title of the poem, has been published. But don't worry, I'll take care of that in one book one day. But I will say that after that first poem, that first evening, that was one of the first times in my younger life that I received applause like that, an overwhelming amount of applause. But even what to me was so amazing about it was the reaction I received. Counselors walked up to me and said, "Hey, why don't you read another poem?" You read another poem? They approached me, the kids approached me, saying, "I like your poems, they're nice." I said, "Thank you." So it encouraged me to read another poem at the campfire. And it was different from the social commentary poem I wrote, maybe a romance, because I was into social commentary and romance at the time, as in the themes of my first book, The Depths of My Soul. And most of the poems from The Depths of My Soul were from that campfire. And the second night reaction was better than the first. They loved the message that I wrote, I read, and that I shared with them. And they all decided, "Hey, I like your poem. Thank you so much." A camp counselor, I'll get to her in a minute, but the campers all loved my poem. They said nice things about what I wrote. The campers I shared the cabin with the counselor, loved my poetry. All the guys loved that poetry. Everyone in the campgrounds, including the counselors and the main counselor, loved what I wrote, loved what I shared. So much that they asked me, where'd you write? I just told them I just write these poems. Because again, I was at the time writing mostly short stories and not a whole lot of poems. But I wrote these poems because it was something to do on my breaks. And when I was not with the campers, the people in my particular group, I decided to just take time to write poetry, keep me busy. Now, if some 17-year-old cat decides to write poetry, he's probably writing on his iPhone, even though he can't. I don't think he should bring those to camp. But I digress with that. So I would say pretty much after all that was said and done, I saw a camp counselor, and what she said has basically, in these last 43 years, has been kind of my mission statement as far as what I'm writing, and as far as what I'm always producing in the written works in here. She told me, with the rest of the counselors sitting by her, she said, I like your poems. They make me think. I want to focus on that statement for a minute, because that was the first time I realized that what I was writing, people liked, but also it was the first time that people were getting to understand what I was writing, and they enjoyed it. I wasn't just talking randomly or being nonsensical. I was actually making sense, and in a way that even a counselor could understand. So all through that camp session, in the 2 weeks that I was there, I read my poems at the campfire. At the very end of the campfire, I was the last person to present. And each reaction, I heard the claps, heard the cheers, heard the comments, the positive comments, and they all made me feel good. So by the time I went to football practice for senior year, I was already on a high. I was already feeling very good about myself. I had a great summer. Because that wasn't the only camp that I read poems at the campfire. I was able to work as a CIT for another camp not too long after that, in the same summer, in the same year. Read poems to that group in that camp with the same reaction, with the same positive comments, with the same respect that I'd always sought as a young writer, young poet. And I couldn't believe the reaction that I received. It's hard for me because I had problems with low self-esteem and all this that I was going through. But that was better than anything or any experience that I could ever imagine at that time. That my words, my poetry, meant something to someone, and that they enjoyed my social commentary, my love poems. They enjoyed that, or them. So I was very happy with myself. So much that when I graduated from high school the next year and decided to go on my own, that led me to believe that, hey, I want to master English. I want to master it. I want to write it well, read it well, analyze it, which is critical thinking well. And I think that ever since that time, ever since that summer, that my words received a lot of cheers and adoration and respect, that I can say that I've grown as a writer, as a poet, essayist, you name it. But it would have never happened if I just had not been approached by that counselor who gave me a shot, who gave me an opportunity and said, hey, why don't you read your poems in the campfire? But more importantly, the counselor who told me and said, I like your poems. They made me think. And that is the one thing that I've always enjoyed about what I do, is just to make people think. There are a lot of messages out there. But if I can share my message or messages to people out there who really need encouragement or want something positive about romance, even if the romance does not work, then I can say I've done my job. I can say that I've helped someone in some way through something I wrote. And I've always been that way, no matter what I've written, essays, poems, you name it. That's always been my goal. And I'm very happy after all this time, as old as I am now, the age that I'm at, that I have a body of work that started way before the campfire. But the campfire was probably the one event or the one place in the San Bernardino Mountains that I emerged as a young poet and as a young writer. That's when people started to take notice that, hey, I have some talent, and all I have to do is just continue to take it far. I would suggest, if there's a 17-year-old or maybe a 16-year-old or 15-year-old, and you happen to be a counselor in training, or you happen to work with a counselor and you have time and you're sitting down writing, not on your phones or on your tablet or on this laptop, but if you're actually sitting down and writing, if you're just taking time to get your thoughts together in a quiet place like we were at the San Bernardino Mountains, I would suggest that if someone gives you an opportunity to share your work, do it. Read in front of that crowd. Get the reactions. Feel the positivity or critical advice. Understand that it doesn't end with a campfire, but it's just the beginning of your journey as a writer, poet, essayist, whatever it may be. You have talent, and as long as you use that talent to make people think, as that counselor told me, then you're going to go far. In fact, you might, as someone told me in a conference one day, be better than me. And I guess I'm urging all of you who are faced with the same dilemma, I guess, nice dilemma that I faced myself back then. Be better than me. Because this world can always use more positivity, because heaven knows we have a lot of negativity out there. The algorithms state we have negativity. Beat the algorithms. Write to make people think. Write to make people challenge the way that we all live, and hope to change it for the better. That's the goal each one of us writing today has to convince ourselves. Because if we don't, we have all this talent, it will be a shame to waste it. That's what the summer of 1983 proved to me. That I have talent, and all I have to do is share it. So if you like this message and you'd like to hear more positive messages from me, don't forget to subscribe or like this particular video essay. And don't forget, I'm in several other places too. Go up top to the banner, find where I'm at, my links, and join me there. I'd love to hear from you. And if you like what I had to say in this video essay, please leave a comment. I would love to hear your thoughts. Maybe you're a young poet yourself and you want to see how you can fare. Okay? Fair enough? Just keep writing. That's all I ask. So, for everyone out there, I really appreciate you staying with me. And I hope that you're having a good post 4th of July summer. Hope it's a safe one. Hope it's a good one. Hope it's something that you know is filled with positivity and good vibes. And with that, I have to say thanks for tuning in. And until the next time, take care.